Hello, in this video you are going to learn about VLAN. VLAN stands for Virtual Local Area Network. It is used to break or segment the broadcast domain on switches. I believe some of you will not be able to understand this thing with the help of the statement. So to make it simpler, let's take an example. So here we have 4 users which are connected to switch. And let's suppose user 1 and user 2 are part of sales department and user 3 and 4 are the part of HR department. So I am talking about the default behavior of switch, that what switch will do when it receives a broadcast. So for the first time, if user 1 wants to communicate to user 2 of the same department, then it will send an ARP request to switch. And switch will receive this ARP request on port number 1. Now it will forward this broadcast from all the ports except port number 1. Means user 2, user 3 and user 4. All of these users will receive the ARP request. But there is no need of sending the ARP request to user 3 and 4 because they belong to a different department. And also we don't want the access that 2 different departments can communicate with each other, but in this scenario they can communicate if they are part of the same network. So now how to control this and how to control the broadcast? Now in this we can take the use of VLANs. So by default every port of switch belongs to VLAN 1. By default, all the ports of switch belongs to VLAN 1. So if a switch receives a broadcast, okay, in VLAN 1, it will forward that broadcast from all the ports which are part of VLAN 1. But I don't want that. I have to break my broadcast domain. I don't want that the user 1 and 2 should be able to communicate with user 3 and 4, or their ARP request should be sent to user 3 and 4, which are in a different department. So I can control this with the help of VLAN concept. So I can assign sales department into different VLAN and HR department into different VLAN. So on switch I have to do some configurations and I'll assign port 1 into VLAN 10 and port 2 into VLAN 10. I'm assuming that for the sales department I'm using VLAN 10 and for the HR department I'm using VLAN 20. So now what will happen whenever the sales user sends the broadcast, then the switch will send this broadcast from all the ports which are part of VLAN 10 only. That means now this broadcast will be sent further only to user 2, and this broadcast will now not be received by user 3 and user 4. This is what exactly we want, right? So now the sales department is a different broadcast domain and the HR department is a different broadcast domain. Whenever there is any broadcast in the HR department, it will be received only by the HR users, and if there is a broadcast in the sales department, then it will be received only by the sales department. So with the help of VLAN, we have divided the broadcast domain. Now this is a different broadcast and this is a different broadcast domain. We have divided the broadcast domain. Understanding, so this is a concept of VLAN. So let's discuss about the advantages. It solves the problem of broadcast which we have already discussed. Saying it reduces the size of broadcast domain, right? Initially the broadcast domain in this particular example is 4 ports. Like these 4 ports are the part of same broadcast domain. Whenever there is any broadcast on any of the port, it will be received by all the other ports. But now we have divided the broadcast domain. Now only port 1 and port 2 are the part of different broadcast domain and 3 and 4 is part of different broadcast domain. It also allows us to add the security. How now the users of different department cannot communicate. It is a type of security. Okay, so if somebody will ask you like after creating VLANs, what is the number of broadcast domains? So the number of VLANs you create on a switch will be equal to the number of broadcast domain. Okay, so now how we configure VLANs. So it is very simple task. First of all, you have to take the console of the switch and you simply have to go to the global configuration mode and you have to type the VLAN which you want to create. So first we have to create the VLAN, and then the second step is we have to assign the port to VLAN. So you simply have to go to the interface and then you have to run the command switch port access VLAN 10, and then that particular port will become the part of VLAN 10. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of VLAN. So thank you so much for watching this video.